Pantheon AI presents Innovator's Dilemma. Kicking off the show today, we're diving into a concept that's, frankly, pretty crucial for anyone in business, or even just observing how companies grow, and sometimes how they fail.
Absolutely. We're talking about the Innovator's Dilemma. It's a term that really took off after Clayton Christensen's book back in '97, and it's still so relevant, isn't it?
It really is. And at its core, it describes this almost paradoxical challenge that really successful, well-managed companies face when they come up against these things called disruptive innovations.
Yeah, it's like you're doing everything right by traditional metrics, you're a market leader, and then something comes along that doesn't seem like a threat initially.
Exactly. Because these disruptive innovations, they often start off looking, well, less attractive, right? Maybe lower performance, or they're simpler. But they have these characteristics. Think convenience, affordability, accessibility, that just let them either create entirely new markets or completely shake up existing ones.
And that's where the dilemma part really kicks in. Because the very principles that made these companies successful, like focusing on their most profitable customers, constantly improving their existing products, which we call sustaining innovations, and just sticking to their established business models.
Right? Those very things inadvertently make them slow or even unwilling to embrace these new disruptive technologies. It's counterintuitive.
It really is. So, to truly get our heads around this, let's break it down using what Christensen called a, quote, first principles approach. Why does this happen?
Good idea. First up, there's resource dependence. Think about it. Successful companies are super tuned into what their current, profitable customers want. And what do those customers usually want?
More of the same, but better, faster, cheaper, right? Incremental improvements. They want those sustaining innovations.
Precisely. So, companies naturally pour their resources, their capital, their best talent, their attention, into meeting those demands because that's where the immediate revenue and profit streams are. It just makes sense, short term.
Which leads us to the profitability motive. Disruptive innovations, they often start in these really small, low-margin markets, or they target customer segments that are, frankly, overlooked by the big players.
And initially, their performance might even be worse than the established products on traditional metrics. So from a short-term financial perspective, investing in these disruptive areas just looks less rational. Why would you do that when you have these known, profitable markets for your sustaining innovations?
It's a tough sell internally, I imagine. And then you have organizational processes. Established companies, they've got these finely tuned machines for developing, manufacturing, and selling their current products to their current customers. They're optimized for efficiency.
Absolutely. But disruptive innovations? They often demand entirely different processes, different cost structures, completely different go-to-market strategies. And that just clashes head-on with the established organizational inertia. It's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole.
So it's not that management is bad or that they lack innovation ability generally. It's a consequence of rational decision-making within the existing frameworks and incentives of a successful company.
Exactly. They're prioritizing what makes them successful today. And that makes them inherently poor at spotting and nurturing the seeds of future disruption that just don't fit their current model. It's a tough spot.
It really is. And to clarify, we've been throwing around sustaining and disruptive innovations quite a bit. Let's make sure we clearly define those.
Good call. So **, sustaining innovations, **, are all about improving existing products, services, or processes. They're aimed at existing customers and basically just strengthen a company's position in its current market. Think adding more features, boosting performance, or just improving quality.
And then **, disruptive innovations, **, are the opposite. They introduce a completely new value proposition. They're often simpler, more affordable, or more convenient, and they target new or previously overlooked customers.
And the kicker is, while they start small, they improve super rapidly. And over time, they can totally displace those established market leaders. It's a slow burn that turns into a wildfire.
Which brings us to the actual challenges companies face when trying to navigate this dilemma. It's not easy, right?
Definitely not. One huge one is the fear of cannibalization. Companies worry that if they introduce this new, potentially disruptive product, it's just going to eat into the sales and profits of their existing successful offerings. Why shoot yourself in the foot?
Right? Why disrupt yourself when someone else hasn't yet? Then there's incompatible business models. Disruptive innovations often need completely different ways of operating, pricing, and distributing. And those just might not align at all with the company's established model.
And finally, cultural resistance. Organizational culture is built around past successes, established norms. It's incredibly hard to get people to adopt new approaches that seem risky or even counterintuitive, especially when the old way has worked so well for so long.
It's a powerful framework, isn't it? Really helps you understand why even the best companies can stumble.
Absolutely. It's not about being bad at business. It's about being too good at the wrong business for the future.
Pantheon AI, your information co-pilot.
Because learning shouldn't feel like a full-time job. Take care and see you next time.